I mean, that's why I've been fascinated also about the psychedelic renaissance as could at least provide people those direct
Mm.
experiences where they have insight that there's a bigger story going on, and that it often can change people's focus
Yeah.
faster than other things. But on the other hand, even that I'm also beginning to have questions about, because I feel that it's being kind of domesticated into the entrepreneurial capitalism system,
Yeah.
rather than being seen as something that can deprogram people from that whole system.
How do you mean the last thing you said? That it's being domesticated?
Yeah, well, it's like microdosing is
Okay.
now
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
as like
Yeah. Yeah.
something that you give to Google engineers
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
makes them more.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The same thing that happened with mindfulness.
Yeah.
That the capitalist
Yeah.
machine is incredibly efficient at assimilating anything different, anything threatening, absorbing. It's sort of like like a metabolizes. It like absorbs whatever it can use, and everything else gets ultimately kind of like shunted to the
Yeah.
side.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Okay. And so, I mean, they always say I've never been at Burning Man, but what they always say is, and you've been a lot, that there you find all the big heads of the Silicon Valley companies there as well. Um, why is it not happening? That because they have most power, they have more power perhaps than the American president. So why what's your opinion? Why is it not happening that although they go to Burning Man, most of them definitely have experience with psychedelics. Steve Jobs himself, he said it was one of his most profound experiences. Um, and that it's, I think he said that the difference between him and Bill Gates is that he took LSD. I think, I'm not sure if that's true actually.
Right, and he was had no problem tormenting teenage workers in Asia and stuff like that.
So and this is my question: what do you think? Why is it not happening? Although these people are making these experiences.
Right. Well, I mean, so I don't think that psychedelics by themselves make you, an empathic and enlightened soul.
Yes. Yes.
And in fact, they can be used for power and so on. I mean,
So
and also, I mean, I had high hopes for Burning Man a while back, like in Breaking Open the Head. I was very excited when I first went. But over time, I feel that, once again, it's this assimilation process. There was kind of like a tension between kind of a, anarchist, hippie, let's save the world, kind of radical spirit, and more of a hedonistic libertarian ethos. And I feel that over time the hedonistic and libertarian ethos has triumphed.
yeah.
The Burning Man has 10 very interesting principles. Leave no trace. Nobody's a spectator. Everybody's a participant. Etc. But it doesn't do anything. It leaves the question of like social inequality and wealth kind of out of the table. So essentially, Burning Man becomes a reality defined by the wealthy people, who are the
Yeah.
ones who build the giant stages or the big art cars, and people gravitate to the spectacles of these things that cost. So it really, in the end, has just replicated kind of the dominant culture.
Yeah.
It's like instead of having yachts, you have art cars.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that liberational spark, I feel, has now been assimilated into something. I mean, it's still better than there not being a Burning Man. I mean, I have gone there and had really amazing conversations with people at the peak of the pinnacle of these different professions and
Yeah.
wealth holders and so on. And and once again, what's going to be most interesting to see is what happens in the next few years as this crisis ratchets up and intensifies.
Yeah.
Because some super wealthy people may decide that they're going to, I mean, I already know some, move to New Zealand or, develop underground bunkers or something, but, that's not a sustainable solution either.
Yeah. It's not a solution.
No.